So today I'm taking you guys along as I upgrade my old internet setup. We're going to be rerouting all the wires for the new system, setting up a wall mounted rack, installing a pretty robust security system with motion tracking cameras. We've got floodlights, sensors, sirens, and everything else involved in building a professional home network from scratch. So way back when I started planning out this setup, I decided to order everything ahead of time so that when I moved into the new house, I could get started and didn't have to wait on it. Well, one of those items was this NavPoint 12U networking cabinet with the glass front panel and the white finish and everything you want, right? Well, once I started putting gear in there, I quickly realized that it wasn't deep enough for the switch.
It was at this moment that he knew.
So after a couple days of looking at Facebook Marketplace, I found this Tech Mojo 18U wall-mounted rack, which was 23 inches deep for $200. Now this rack was plenty big for everything we needed, plus plenty of room for expansion. The only problem is I wanted a white cabinet to fit the setup. So after getting this cabinet back to the house, I quickly got to taking it apart so we can get it a fresh coat of paint. Now to paint this, the process is going to be simple. We're going to take each panel, scuff it up with 220 sandpaper, gives the paint a little something to stick to. Now the paint, Rust-Oleum high performance enamel. Let's see if we can get that. Now we are going to take everything and just wipe it off with some rubbing alcohol to get all of the dust off. We're just gonna have a nice clean surface. We'll be ready for paint. After we got all these things wiped down, we rolled out some paper here so we don't get paint everywhere. Go ahead, set that up. And then I had this Wagner paint tent for a couple years now. This is just nice to keep the overspray from going everywhere. But we're gonna go ahead, go in here with one nice light dusting, and then we'll come back after everything's painted with a nice solid second coat. All right, we've got the first coat. I think we ran through a single can of paint. We still have 3 cans left, and I think we should have enough, to be honest. After 2 coats of paint on the inside, we went ahead, let it dry overnight, then flipped everything over since we want both the inside and outside white. Got 2 coats of paint on that, and then we were finally back to where we started. Now we've got all of the pieces nice and painted. We're gonna go ahead, assemble this, get it together, and then we will mount it to make sure we are good to go. So I'm low-key glad that first case didn't work out, because with this one I have a lot more space and more room to grow. So if I want to add more equipment, I can do so later on instead of just being limited to the 12 user space on the previous one. All right, moving on. We've got the frame of our rack nice and built. Now we're gonna mount it. So right now, this is where all of the connections are coming in at. We're gonna have to take this, pull it up through here. We're gonna go in the attic, oof, bumped my head, and bring them up over here. Going offline. All right, we've got that bundled good. So we won't need that. Made the hole a little bigger, and we are slowly pulling cables out one by one. So after all these cables were pulled out of the original box, I ended up having to make 10 10-foot extension cables so that we could run the Ethernet cables up and out of the way and into the new networking cabinet. Last night, I ended up spending 2.5 hours or so making Ethernet cables. Now I could have easily went out and bought 10 pre-made Ethernet cables, which, you know, would have saved me some time. But because I have this 1,000 feet of Cat6 cable, I just purchased the connectors, the cable, and the 2 tools to make it happen. Basically, pull out some wire, right? I'll make it pretty short just for demonstration purposes. Now I've got a cut piece of wire, so I'll go ahead, boom, give it a twist. Now it exposes the little wires inside. Now these wires, you're gonna have 4 pairs of wires. You're gonna have a brown pair, orange pair, green pair, and a blue pair. And there's gonna be a little plastic divider piece in there. We can take that, cut it away. Or the little string in there, you can cut that as well. There we go. Now you can wire these two ways, T568A or T568B. You can choose either way. As long as they're wired the same on both ends, you're good to go. Basically, what you're gonna do is I've got these 4 sets of wires, unbundle them and order them in the correct order. Here we've got brown, orange, white, blue, white, orange, green, white, green. Get these in line. We'll give them a nice snip and they'll all get seated at the front. To splice the connection, boom. We've got our small Ethernet cable. Now to test this, all we have to do is take our tester, plug this into the bottom, and then as soon as you hit test, we got a double green, so this one is wired correctly. Now, if you miswired something or if there was a missing connection, it'll tell you that. As soon as you click test, one of these 3 errors will light up with a little red next to it. So now that our wiring tutorial is all done, it is on to managing these cables all up in the attic. So all of these cables were too short to run into the networking cabinet, so I had to make the additional Ethernet lines. I use those couplings there so that once I get all this wire here nice and tidied and it looks, you know, not like a mess up in the attic, I can go ahead, use the coupling to attach onto the existing Ethernet lines and then run them nicely up and out of the way here so they reach into the networking rack and we have plenty of slack to do so. After some unforeseen technical difficulties, we are finally ready to put our rack together. So the first thing going in the rack is the network video recorder. Now, to a quick look at the hardware, on the back, we've got our input for our power, 3 fans to help dissipate heat, internet connection, and redundant power. On the front side, we have 4 drives total, and each of them can take 2.5 or 3.5 drives, depending on what you want to use. We've got our hardware, our rack gears, and our power cable to get it situated. Now, this is going towards the top of the rack because it creates a lot of heat. Moving on, we have the Dream Machine Pro Max. Now this also has 2 drives and you can run UniFi Protect on it if you choose, but you will be limited to the 2. Now you have the 1.3-inch screen, you got your power cord, rack gears, and hardware to get it installed. So you throw in the rack gears, and we're gonna put that right below the NVR. Moving on, we've got the patch panel. Now this is going to nicely route all networking cables coming into the rack so that they can be routed into the switch in a very aesthetic manner. Now we're putting these supports in because the switch is pretty hefty, and the switch we chose and went with is the Pro HD 24 PoE. Now this is a heavy duty switch. It's got PoE power to all of these ports. You've got 24 ports. You got your 1.3-inch screen, and then you got your connections to daisy chain the internet right here. Now this is going to slide in and be supported, so we really don't need the screws, but we'll put them in anyways. So next up we have the UNAS Pro. Now this is a 7-bay network attached storage system that Ubiquiti offers, and it just fits so well in the ecosystem. Now they have came out with a couple of newer options, but low key, they don't have the little 1.3-inch screen, and I know I don't use it much, but I still like it. Now next, we've got Power Distribution Pro. This is gonna go in towards the bottom of the rack and just handle supplying power to all of our devices. Moving on to our last item is our redundant power, which is just a nice backup to have. Now I did leave some space in between the hardware, so to cover those up, I've got these blank panels off of Amazon, spray painted to match the Ubiquiti gear, and a brushed panel above the Power Distribution Pro to hide the cables. Now I added a shelf at the bottom there, and then I had to wait on these little couplings for the patch panel. They finally got delivered, so we installed those, and we could finally have our full setup exactly how we wanted, and we have an idea of what needs to go where. So now I can take it out and hang it, because with all that gear in there, it's way too heavy. So I hung the networking rack. We got all the cables nicely organized, and then we could re-put in all of our equipment. Now this is the exhaust fans. It comes with a little in-wall controller, so I cut that out here at the bottom, and then we just notched a hole in the back of the networking rack to run the cables behind the wall and have a nice little in-wall controller so we can adjust the exhaust fans depending on the temperatures. Now after that, I just started getting everything resituated in the networking rack and spent the rest of the night getting that organized. Now moving on to the next day, I started with the security install. Now because I didn't have the Ethernet cables ran, I had to run those around the eave so that I could have all the cameras connected and powered via PoE going back into the networking cabinet. Now my camera did die when I was installing this, so we'll just skip to the final reveal. So the last thing I need to do was hook up the access points. Now this is the U7 Pro XG. This is the new industrial designed, updated look access points that Ubiquiti came out with recently. It is a lot better looking than the plastic bubbly looking access points. So these are very clean and aesthetic, and we have 2 of them covering the whole house. So now that the setup is complete and I've had some time to get familiar with it, let's dive into a bit of an overview on everything we've got going on, starting with the networking rack. So starting off at the top, we have the network video recorder. Now having a dedicated NVR offloads UniFi Protect from running on the Dream Machine. Now the benefit of this is we get additional bays for video storage expandability instead of being limited to the 2 drives on the Dream Machine. Now you can see here that the UniFi Protect app is pretty robust with features. It categorizes all motion events, so you're able to filter through based on a specific person, vehicle, or animal. And that's just the start, but their real bonus is that you get all of this with no monthly subscription. So moving on next, we've got the Dream Machine Pro Max. Now the Dream Machine handles our incoming 5 gig fiber connection and keeps those speeds while having the security features on, unlike the other models. And lastly, it does have the 1.3-inch touchscreen for real-time stats. Moving right on down the line, we've got the Switch Pro HD 24 PoE, which is probably overkill, but it has 22 2.5 gig ports and 2 10 gig ports. Now all these ports provide PoE++ power, which makes connecting things like the PTZ cameras very simple. Now lastly, it does have the ether lighting feature that makes the setup look very clean, and it also adds functionality when you're trying to troubleshoot or locate a specific port which your device is connected to. So next up, we've got the UNAS Pro, which is a personal high-speed cloud for files and backups. It has 7 bays for high-density storage with up to 24 terabytes each. That gives you 168 total terabytes of max storage. It has Dropbox-style file syncing across multiple devices and workstations without any monthly subscription. It also has an SFP Plus connection, so your file transfers are extremely fast, and you can even video edit off the cloud if you wanted to. So next up, we've got the Power Distribution Pro. Now the main feature here is we have remote port control. So each outlet can be remotely monitored and restarted through the app, allowing us to power cycle specific hardware without being physically present. With that, we have automated recovery, so it can be configured to automatically reboot our gateway if it detects a loss of internet to help restore service without manual intervention. Next up, we have the redundant power. Now this is not necessary, this is solely just a backup. Now if the power supply in a particular piece of hardware in the rack were to fail, this would instantly begin supplying power so there's no downtime with your network. Now lastly, on the bottom, I have a smart home hub as well as the SuperLink Gateway. Now this is necessary if you plan on using any of the sensors that UniFi offers. They have entry sensors, motion, glass break, and environmental sensors that paired with the Siren just adds another level to your security setup. Now besides that, I have additional space at the bottom of the rack to be able to add in some power amps that UniFi offers that will be able to power and play music through the ceiling speakers of the home later on in the future. Now let's briefly talk about the security setup. Now when it comes to security cameras, UniFi has a lot of options that can fit your specific need. Now for me, I ended up going with the G6 PTZ because they recently came out and they have 4K dual lens cameras with 10x hybrid zoom. Now it features an 8 megapixel image sensor with an AI engine and ultra low latency pan tilt zoom control for motion tracking. Now, next up, we've got the AI PTZ Industrial. Now, this is similar to the last camera, but beefs everything up. It has enhanced AI capabilities, 22x optical zoom, and long-range adaptive IR LED night vision. It's got 360 endless panning and also features a license plate reader. So besides that, we have motion activated floodlights and indoor cameras like the G6 Instant that are able to record via Wi-Fi, and you don't need an Ethernet connection. So overall, I think the UniFi ecosystem is very professional and extremely polished. It feeds my want to continue to expand the system and build on what I have going so far. Now, with the addition of all my data being stored locally and no subscription fees whatsoever, it's hard to convince me that anything else tops it. Now, I will leave a link to all the gear in the description. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I will try to help you out. But with that, I will see you guys in the next one.